Check it out. It's a delivery. What could it be? Oh, here it is. It's Doro, the little gremlin-like creature that was made from a meme of a different video game into a meme of Nikke, of Dorothy from Nikke. So let's check this out. We've got 6 Doros of many different types. Every Nikke has become a Doro, so you kind of need a Doro. Oh, cool! It's cut out. You need a Doro to go with each Nikke, and that's kind of cool. This is like a little pop-out thing. That's clever. Doro's a little bastard. Likes to mess around. So let's check this out. Yeah, you're watching the whole unboxing. Six of them. Which one is who? Apparently you get a special funny face Doro. Limited edition. So let's pick this one. Yeah. We'll see who this one is. So who do you think it's going to be? Is it going to be Maxwell? Drake? Shifty? Syrian? Or Lapis? Or Doro? Like I like these characters. I mean, we'll go on about that in a moment. So we'll see who it's going to be. It is Maxwell. Instead of saying Bacillus on her head, it says something hilarious. There it is. This will go standing beside a Nikke statue. This little creature that will mess things up. I like the blue shiny eyes. She's got her hat. You can tell who it is if you play the game. You know, you're like, oh, that's a Maxwell Doro. But that does not say Bacillus, which is the industry that creates these cyborg women. You know, these Nikke. But this is official. This isn't like some like knockoff. Why does it say Aeschylus? You know, Aeschyleg. You know, like look at that. Why does it say that? Is that Maxwell the Doro just being like cheeky? You know, messing around? Like, I spelled your name wrong on purpose, Suyin. We like to mess with you. Nah, maybe. But she'll just go right there. Next one. Who's it gonna be? Let's see if we can guess this time. I say it is gonna be Shifty. And we're gonna pick this one. Shifty is was the unofficial mascot before Doro appeared. In her real Nikke form. No, it's Suyin. The angry one of the CEOs who likes to dominate and crush people between her feet. Very evil CEO, you know what I mean? But really short and short-tempered. You know, that kind of cartoony character. But then she's you know, caught for her evil crimes or whatever. And fears her punishment. That kind of thing. You know? Again, I like the glossiness of the eyes. If you know the characters, you're going to go, that's Suyin. Here it is. It's the crawling Doro type. You usually get the standing or the crawling and the ones with the like human-like face skin. But this one is the typical one here. Okay, she goes down, and she's gonna be mad at Drake for saying the name of her company wrong. She does get mad at that if you watch the behind-the-scenes, fake behind-the-scene videos. You know. Let's see who we're gonna get next. Okay, this time it's gonna be. Let's see. It's gonna be Drake, and it's gonna be this one. Let's see if I get this one. I didn't guess the first one. Didn't guess the second. Didn't guess the first one because I didn't try to guess it. Didn't guess the second one, but let's see here. So I'm saying this one's going to be Drake. Drake, I'll explain to you how she is. No, it's Doro herself. The goddess of victory herself. From the goddess squad. Dorothy. She's the original. I think they made her, like, pretty good. It's not the funny face Doro. I didn't get the special. Look at that. See, Dorothy is from the Goddess Squad Nikke. It's an old squad from what I can tell. She's got a lot of mental problems, but carries herself very well, very regal. Is incredibly powerful. Has gone through a lot of like warlike trauma, so she's like messed up. But this Doro is everything she wishes she could be. Just chilling around and messing with people. Look at that. Okay, she goes down. The meme character from a different game that was turned into a meme of a character from this game that ended up becoming official and is now all over the place. So what we've got left is we've got Drake, we've got Shifty, and we've got Brain Freeze, Lapis. This one is going to be... No, this is going to be Lapis. There we go. That's going to be Lapis. Not Lapis from Dragon Ball. That's really dumb that they named the androids 17 and 18. Their real names are Lapis and Lazuli. That does not sound Dragon Ball-like. I know they're named after stuff, and there's probably a reason. And what do you know? It's Drake. Okay, so Drake wants to be a Kamen Rider-esque super villain. Because, you know, when they think superheroes in anime, they think karate men or they think Sentai or Kamen Riders. You know, like in Americans when they're like, Bugs Bunny wants to be a superhero, he dresses up in tights and acts like Superman. When a Nikke wants to be a superhero, they'll dress up in a Kamen Rider outfit and ride a motorbike. You know what I mean? Because to them, that's a superhero. Or they'll be a karate man, karate girl. So yeah, so Drake wants to be a villain, and she's like exaggerated, like, I am going to capture the villains, capture the heroes, and force them to watch old episodes of this terrible show. She's like a bad villain, as in like she's actually pretty nice and ends up saving people. You know, and she's like, it was all part of my dastardly plan. They think I saved them, but I was making them think that I am there. One of those things. You know, she messes up her villainy and ends up saving people. So Drake is pretty cool, but like it's, you know, for a choice in a Nikke, you know, there's so many others. You could have put Anis. You could have put Neon. You could have put Noir or any of the other like more famous, better characters. Like, she's cool, but, like, she doesn't really stand out much. Again, you know it's Drake because of the hair and the face. But that's about it. I mean, they all have the same face. Look at Doro. She fell over. All right, who's next? This one is Shifty. Shifty, I'm happy they made a Shifty. Shifty was your communications character. But let's wait to find out who it is before we talk about it. And it's not Shifty. I got every single one of them wrong. All right, they put them in order. They're unordered. They're not in order from what you would think. Because you'd think that Doro herself would be down there. All right. So this is Lapis. She is a hero. This one's cool. She really stands out because of the hair and the band-aid on her head. I think she was a good choice. And I guess if you're going to put Lapis, you're going to put Drake. So that looks pretty cool. I think the hair could be a little more saturated. I like the band-aid. Back and stuff is the same. Hair looks good. So she's a hero, and just like, Drake, she ends up like saying, heroes love to pose in action, and then she'll like drive through a wall and end up collapsing the building and injuring millions of people. So she's trying to be a hero, but she screws up a lot, She's a powerful Nikke, and she fight. They all are. They do well in their missions, but in her like funny side story quests that they have in the game for all of them, the counseling sessions, which end up becoming hilarious mini stories. She just ends up like messing up, but she never ever goes, "Oh, I feel bad. I destroyed the building and injured all the." No, she's like, "I'll just try again next time." That kind of thing. I am the ultimate hero. So, obviously, the one that I'm going to get right is the last one. And let's see, it's going to be Shifty. Shifty is the communications character. At the beginning of the game, when you have your missions, the little translucent screen pops up in the corner. You know how it is in those shows now? It's been like that in a lot of old cartoons as well. It's just like movies start to do that now. So they act like, oh, Iron Man did it. Like, no, he didn't invent that. That's been around. The HUD has been around for a while. The little computer screen floating in the corner. We had that even before Reboot, and Reboot did a really good job of it. There is Shifty. Because, the company Shift Up is the company that made Nikke. And Shifty. There, look at those crystal blue eyes. The little headset. That's clearly Shifty with the little cat ears. Go watch that trailer for Metal Gear Shifty, where they made a fake April Fool's trailer of Nikke with Shifties. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these little characters and we're going to compare them to their full Nikke counterparts. Be right back. All right, we're back. Let's move her out of the way. All right, let's get these Dorongo Doros in frame. Here are the Doros compared to Rupee. You just saw my review of her. That's a pretty awesome series. See, if I had a Rupee Doro, I would put her right there. There you go. Maybe I'll just leave this Doro until I get the actual Dorothy statue. I'm thinking about getting that one. Either that or a figure. Here is Doro compared to Chibi Anis. That's a Nindoroid Anis. She's got her grenade launcher there. I got a review of this character coming up. It's one of the few that I'm actually editing and adding music and little cut jokes. Except my plug on my computer got destroyed, so I got to get a new one. I mean, I could use the plug for my work computer, but I'm like, that's work computer. I'm not going to use that. That's cool. Oh, yeah, we're going to mention this. You see this in the review. Magnet hat. Isn't that cool? Let's put Anis there. Then we have one of my favorites. Not favorite statues, but favorite Nikke. Emma. You got a Doro for her there. Maybe put Shifty beside her. There you go. Then after that, we have one of the most famous Nikke. Look at it. We got a review of this one, pre-recorded already. She's on the computer. Already ready to go once I get that plug. And it's Modernia, who's really Marianne. That's a long story about this character. She started in the first game. Everybody didn't like your character, the commander. Well, I mean, they're Nikke, they gotta protect you, and they're kind of like disrespectful, but like, as they would be. But Marianne, immediately took to your character, and everyone was like treating you like crap, but Marianne did not. Unfortunately, Marianne was corrupted by the villains, the Raptures. We've told you about them before. And Nikkes can't kill themselves, and they have a special gun, handgun that can kill Nikkes, and the commander has to do it. And you're like, okay, I gotta kill the only person who was nice to me. And now you gotta put an end to her. And she like takes the gun with you and like looks up at you even though she's corrupted, and says, thank you for the band-aid, and then you shoot her in the head. And then she's captured by the enemies, like grinded up and turned into this crazy, like insane monster. And you got to fight her, and repeatedly, and then you freaking like beat her, and then she's back for a while, and you're like, oh, she's back. And then Chatterbox comes back, and he's like, nope, she's not back. And then you're all pissed off, and you're like, we had her back. So then you just like demolish Chatterbox and break his like brain box dealy, and then he's dead for a while. And then somehow she comes back again, except she's all like her brain is like new, so she doesn't remember anything. And you're like, oh damn, it's like we've lost her. But then she's like, I love band-aids, and they're like, what? You know what I mean? And she's like, I like the commander, and like, but you don't know him, and she somehow got that memory. And her intelligence is slowly growing, and she's becoming normal again, but she's hiding away with another Nikke in a royal kingdom. The Nikke is called Crown, and there's a whole bunch of others, and they're like protecting her and keeping her away. They're trying to do like medical studies on her, and they'll like put a needle in her and it won't fit, and they're like a titanium needle and it won't go in because she's so indestructible. And they're like, okay, we're gonna put a high powered laser for like 10 minutes and like beam it to her to like get a blood sample. And then you as the commander, you're all like, are you doing this on purpose? And she's like, yes. And they're like, what do you mean? All I have to do is concentrate and my body becomes really tough or really strong. And they're like, that's ridiculous. And then they discovered that just by mental focus, she can make herself more indestructible. You know what I mean? Just if she doesn't want to be hurt, she won't be hurt unless it's like really powerful. So that's a pretty cool character. A little extra information about her because she's got a massive story. This one is compared to Alice. You know, she's a lot of Nikke are named after characters. Doro, Dorothy from Wizard of Oz, Alice from Alice in Wonderland, and she's a bunny. Get it? Even though those look more like cat ears, but she acts like a bunny. This has a review. This was the first Nikke figure I got. I'm going to tell you it's the best, but we'll get into the full review later. I'll show you that later. Anyways, here's all the characters. She's a great fun. You look at her face and you know her character. She lives in like a snowland. I think I remember the time when you met her. The field was all like snowy and stuff like that, and you like collapsed, and you're like stuck out there. And her and this other chick who looks Russian, who isn't, she's got the big puffy Russian hat. You know what I mean? They save you, and that's pretty cool. She's like a sniper character, so I always like snipers. They're pretty cool. So there's the Doros. Those aren't their Nikke counterparts, but those are Nikke in general. Eventually, I will be getting characters of these. Hopefully mainly sticking to the figures, but with statues as good as this, geez, man, it's tough to resist. I've already got some on the way. I've got an Ani statue that's not coming until 2026, and a couple others. So there you have it. We've got the Nikke Doro collection. If you like the characters, you've already got it. This is the second available pre-order. So they're going to look pretty cool and funny all over the place. Little mischievous Doros messing things up and breaking stuff and messing around. They're a lot of fun, and they match their Nikke characters. So some versions of them show the Nikkes transforming into them. Others show them, like just meeting them, like they're separate characters. So I don't know if what's official, but I know in one of the special Was it the 2.5 year anniversary? And the 3 year anniversary is coming up soon. Uh, Anis and Neon. Neon is the other character of the Counters squad, which is your main squad that you play as at the beginning of the game. Neon loves firepower. She replaced her, but she didn't replace her like they hate her. She seems to like admit she's a spy, but like they don't play anything out with that. I don't know if it's like she's playing dumb or she's just messing around. Um, More about Neon when we see her. So they admitted they saw this. They're like, what is that little pink hair thing? She kind of looks like Dorothy, you know? They don't get along with Dorothy, but they like messing with Dorothy in the show or in the game, in the actual game. Dorothy is very regal and easy to mess with, whereas Dorothy's Doro version is like just likes messing with other people. So it's kind of like what she wishes she could be. So usual in real life, they act more like Doros, or not real life in the game's real story. She acts more mischievous. In the Doro version, Dorothy acts more mischievous. So there you go. So they admitted the Doros exist. They appear in official Nikke events like the Dorothy or the Doro Family World Tour that happened a while ago, and I think they had another one where people in costumes of Nikke and Doros went around the world and danced and took pictures. Then they went to a baseball game, and Rappi threw the first pitch, and the Doros were all over the place. I think it was the Padres versus the Dodgers. Yeah, I believe it was. So that would have been cool to see. So there you go, Doro Family Collection, right beside the Nikkes. It's going to be cool to have them. Collecting more Nikkes. We'll see more reviews soon. Catch you later.